Primal the Awakening. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over Primal the Awakening and how it plays with 2 players. Now Primal the Awakening is a 1 to 4 player cooperative boss battler game. If you're playing the campaign, you may read a little blurb on the campaign, read a little blurb on the monster, set up the monster, set up your characters, and then you're ready to go. So your goal in the game is to hopefully by the end of 10 rounds be able to fell this monster in various ways. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So before I get started, there are 2 ways to play. You can play in an individual game where you just kind of set up your player characters, however many you want to play with, and set up the monster and play. Or you can play the campaign. The campaign, you start to get your resources after you kill the monsters. There's a little prologue scenario. And you get to craft things throughout the way. So kind of neat to play through that story of the campaign. But it really is just a boss battler. And what's interesting about this is there's no monster turn. So at the beginning, they may get a couple of these struggle tokens. They're going to have their deck ready, but they're going to have reactions to what you do. So if you're going to stay in one spot, if you're going to be threatened, they may attack you. If you're going to move, they may not, it all depends on which ones they do. If you play an attack card, they may react. They may even react twice when you do it. When you step on a water tile, when you do something at the end of the turn. So there's just a nice little reaction deck that's really refreshing in a game like this. But on your turn, you're going to get 5 cards, and it's going to kind of be like the Marvel Champion system where you're going to pay stamina to be able to play a card. Some may get you more cards. You may be able to use your various equipment, all while trying to attack the monster in their weak spots and being able to defend the attrition at the end of the phase, which is making sure you have enough defense cards or the monster will kind of lash out to you at the end of the turn. But the play just goes back and forth. You are trying to bring the monster down into these stages. Every monster has 3 stages, so you need to get the monster to a certain health level before they go on to the next stage. They may change up abilities, change up their behavior. Just kind of neat how they change. All while, like I said, there's no monster turn, so you can really try to manipulate what you do and how the monster will react to your turn. But you want to use your environment, you want to use your cards. You'll be upgrading cards throughout the campaign. You'll be upgrading your weapons, crafting new weapons, just like Monster Hunter series. And it's just really neat. The board itself, the monster is just going to be spinning in the middle, while the 4 outside areas are places where the characters will move. And once again, after 10 rounds, hopefully you brought the monster to 0 wounds and you win. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So let's talk about the components in this game. Well, it does cost a pretty penny to have this box. This box is very large. This box is very deep, but it does come with, I believe, 13 monsters in just the base game. And you're not even going to see all those in the campaign, which is actually really nice. The campaign only lasts 11 monster battles, and you're going to get 4 characters as well. So you can play 2 characters, play the campaign once, play a different 2 characters, which has whole different decks and different play styles, and you're going to encounter different monsters every time. So just a neat system as far as the components go. You get a lot of miniatures in there, a lot of cards. I love the organizer that they do. The rules and references. The rules are a little bit thick, but they're really easy to get into. What is a little bit tougher is the references. They have some decent references, but I've had to ask myself, ooh, what is this? What is this? What is this? There's some terrain out here that's always a little bit tough to remember. Oh, what's the order I have to do if I want to ride the monster, if I get, a status on me. So there's a lot to take in as far as the rules and references in this game are. Let's talk about setup and table size. Table size, for the most part, this is a reasonable amount it takes up. The boxes are kind of everywhere, so maybe this is a little bit larger than I thought. And then the setup, that'll take you a decent amount, but if you use the one-off scenarios, you can probably get about set up in 20 minutes. or so from out of the box to playing. But what's nice about this game, if you do play the campaigns, the setup for the monster is easy. You plop them in the middle, you set up your terrain, you put your couple cards out, you get your behaviors and your monster status is ready, and you're ready to go. So setup and table size, actually decent for a game this size. So let's talk about the gameplay. And this is where Primal just excels. This is a really neat system. Like I said, those familiar with Marvel Champions, pretty familiar with, there's a cost up at top, and then you have a stamina resource. As your resource at the bottom, you pay it to do this. To move around at the beginning of your turn, you have to pay 1 stamina just to move, and you may have to be on different sides of the monster, either behind them, to the side, or even to the front to do and play attacks on them. But it's just such a cool experience because you have your weapon, which has a little special ability. You have your helmet, special ability. Your armor may do something. You're trying to also make sure you get your mastery. Once you do your mastery, you flip it over and get to do even more cool stuff. You can prepare your deck beforehand. There's like a construction aspect where it's not deck building. You're going to come to the battle with your deck, which I really like. And there's enough choices to feel like you get to choose what you want. You get to have an item and 2 potions that you can drink at the beginning of the round to give you that extra boost or to heal yourself. And it's really, the card play is just nice. You can play up to 5 cards per turn, and you may have to draw some, pay some, and really combo-tastic, but it feels good. When the other player is doing something, you can really see, ooh, that was a nice move. You did a ton of damage this turn. My turn won't be as good, but the monster may turn to me. Really a lot of positioning. This game really does it all. I really like the gameplay loop of the players are going to be doing a lot of the actions. And then the monster is just going to react to what the players do. You know what the reactions are going to be. So do you risk it? Do you learn? There's only going to be 9 cards of reactions every game, and those are going to get cycled through. So you're going to say, ooh, I know what it does. When the monster is going to bite me in the front, I'll be prepared. So it's just a lot of that. It's a lot of learning. I really equate a lot of this to Monster Hunter World. But there is a lot to keep track of as far as the gameplay goes. You do, when you play a card, you're really into it, and you're like, oh no, the reaction should have triggered then. It is a little backtracking too. There's just a lot to keep track of. That's what I would say is a little bit tough about this game, is how much there is to keep track of. But the gameplay loop itself is fantastic in this game. So is this game good for 2? And my wife played 2 scenarios with me, which have been a lot of fun. I was able to watch what she was doing and back and forth. And like I said, just a ton of fun beating down these monsters. I have played quite a bit solo. I believe I am on scenario 8 or 9 of the campaign out of the 11 that there are. You get resources at the end. But a 2-player, this is a lot of fun. You have to play with a minimum of 2, so you can't just play with solo with 1 character. Even solo, I had to play 2-handed, so I took over the character when she was kind of done with the game. Not quite her style, but this is my style game. Deck construction, taking wounds but dishing them back out, reactions, being able to react to certain things. Just building up the character just kind of feels nice, trying to get the masteries going. So with 2 players, the back and forth feels real good. I don't know if I would play 2 players with 2 players each, unless both people really know what they're doing. But for a 2-player game, man, this is really cool. Don't count this out as a 2-player game. This is awesome. I've loved playing solo, love playing 2. At 3 and 4, I could see it being a little bit bogged down because I don't get to go as much as I would want to because the game is just so much fun. I want to go. But man, at 2 players, this game really is fun. It scales with the amount of players. There are a couple things that don't scale. When the monster goes through their reaction deck, they're only going to put 1 struggle token, but they're going to attack all players at certain times. So you get kind of I could see it being easier with with 4 players, but with 2, this game is great. This game is not easy. This game's hard. There's a lot to remember, but the card play, the building of your character, the campaign, story's not the best, but that's fine. The story's good, but the bosses are unique. The reactions are unique. They all do something different. Just building the world around Primal, I have just really enjoyed this game. This game probably would have hit my top 5 list of games of 2024 had I not been able to, do this in time. But I feel like I've played enough now to be able to do the review. So Primal the Awakening, fantastic game. I've enjoyed everything about it, and it's just nice. I say I enjoyed everything. I think the campaign was probably 1 or 2 scenarios too long. I think 9 would have been the perfect length for the campaign. Knock one off, the second and the third kind of iterations of when things escalate a little bit. But other than the campaign maybe being a tiny bit too long and how much there is to keep track of, there's way more good than there is negatives that I have in this game. So Primal the Awakening, really enjoyed for 2 players and definitely solo. So hope you guys enjoyed the review, and till next time.